Welcome in, everybody, to another edition of our Tee to Green Extra here on our YouTube page. And hopefully maybe you got it through one of our Twitter handles. Brian Koziel, Kevin Sylvester, PGA Pro, Jeff Meadis. We're all looking pretty here in our golf attire, in our rooms
Quarantine
at home
beards.
here on Zoom. Jeff's just beard. I shaved, was it yesterday? Maybe yesterday morning. I can't remember. But you got it going pretty nice. Kev, you got it going too. I didn't know that it was the beard look this week. I should have let it go.
At least Jeff's beard matches the dome. Okay, so he's got a uniform look here. Which, by the way, I'm going to take off my Callaway golf cap. Yes, I need a haircut, big time. I mean, this is.
Oh, I'll show you. Mine is.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I might have my daughter
That's
cut my
bad.
hair with clippers. Yeah. It's that bad.
But the beard. So I said, all right, I'm going to grow the beard a little bit. I am close to distraught by how much salt there is and not enough pepper in this dish right here. I mean, it is just so white. I'm like, what the hell?
Kev, you don't know white. I was white at 30. Yes. I had gray hair at 25. So it's at least I got it, right?
That's what happens when you're a golf pro. That stress on you, right?
That's right. Couldn't have been the two daughters. No,
definitely not.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
it's and I try, I actually shave the neck. I try to uniform it here, but it is not going over well here at home. Let's put it that way. With the missus and my youngest called me grandpa the other day. So
Hey,
maybe
time
short-lived.
marches on.
Yes,
Yeah,
it may be short-lived, or Just for Men might come out if I want to keep it.
Oh, no one ever could tell that you've colored your hair and beard. No.
No.
It's always so nondescript, yes.
Who was the reliever for the Giants, Brian? When they were in the World Series there, he had the bushy beard and he colored it, so it was darker. And he said he colored it. It was
I forgot.
pitch black.
Who's his name?
I'm going to color my hair someday. Yeah.
Is it baseball players? The pitchers always have the best facial hair, right?
Yes.
The pitchers
yeah.
always do.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're on the Yankees, you can't really have any, but
but
tight
remember,
mustache, right?
remember Oscar Gamble. Oscar Gamble had the chops though when he played for the Yankees.
That was
Right?
a long time ago, though,
The
wasn't
long sideburns, the mutton chops. Oscar Gamble. Kind of.
it? Yeah, I got the mutton chops going. Yeah.
People
It'll be
wanna
interesting
hear
to
it.
see the tour players. Do they have haircuts, or are they all going to look like us because they've been in quarantine too? Yeah,
Would you see Koepka let Jenna Sims cut his hair?
I did. It didn't come out
yeah.
well. Yeah,
Yeah, it was. Bad
That was a
looking.
bad haircut.
And he's got
that's why you. But it
Buster
grows
going
back.
with it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if she asks you to cut your hair, I guess you just let her do it, right?
Yeah.
Whatever your woman says, you do.
Yeah. Why is it any different than anything
Yeah.
else? Right.
That's right.
When it comes to that. Hey, I just, we talked about it on the show. For those who are watching this before the show, we addressed the golf carts, but I just want to say, holy moly. I get it. There are some guys who want to play golf who can't. They simply can't walk, can't carry a bag. Good luck finding a pole cart in a store right now.
No, but I mean, even for some that may have a disability that can't.
Well, yeah, that's what I
walk,
mean.
so,
Arthritis, whatever. Believe me, if we could use carts, I'd use one right now. And I'm carrying a bag, and trust me, by the final 4 holes, I'm like, oof. Especially 2 days in a row. I played 2 days in a row last week, and Friday, Saturday, and the softer conditions walking. This is Lancaster. Sunday, my knees were sore. It was just, luckily it rained. I would, if I could have played, it was so nice, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have been able to walk. Just physically taxing carrying the bag for 18 holes 2 days in a row. I know, woe was me, but what I'm just trying to say is, yes, if we could use carts, I'd be all for it.
Yeah.
And theoretically, could we? Sure, one rider, but I think all that goes into cleaning it. They're trying to eliminate that possibility, is what I see.
Yeah.
Is it fair? Probably not, but it is what it is, right?
I think I end up playing better walking, even though I know that, am I complaining late in the round maybe because I'm a little sore or tired? Sure, but I think I end up playing better. I don't know if it's the time in between that it allows me to just relax a little, or as I'm walking up to it, I'm thinking more about my decision making on what I'm going to do. But the in and out of the car, the racing sometimes, and we all feel at times like we're always looking at our watch when we're playing for the variety of reasons. It's life. That's just what goes on. But when I feel like you're walking, even though it might be the same time to play as it is when you're in a cart, like for whatever reason to me, I feel like life slows down. It's
Yeah.
and I don't, maybe I'm more at peace with myself, Jeff, that I end up playing better because I'm in a better mindset.
I've walked 90% of my rounds in my life. I prefer to walk. I've walked since I was a kid. As a head pro at a country club, the members beach, I always preferred to walk. I don't mind carrying my bag. I think if there's a pace to the game that walking enables a little bit more. You got time to think between shots. You got time to chat with guys. I never minded carrying my bag. I always had a small bag. I enjoyed it. I don't carry 87 things in my golf bag. I got a few golf balls, some tees, a ball marker, my clubs. Maybe an extra glove and a towel, and you don't need much more when you're out there. And I've always enjoyed walking much more. So for me, it's not a big sacrifice. I do understand that the demographic for golf. What's the average age of a golfer of a country club member? I think it's around 58 or 60. So, if half those guys are older than that, that's where there's a difficult time for them to play. I know being in the golf industry forever that, the older guys, they're a large part of who plays golf, older guys and women, and they can't walk. That means they can't play. And that's, that's a good portion of your customer in the golf industry. And they're shut out right now. And like you said, Kev, it's not fair, but it is what it is. Right. And if you went to play St. Andrews, guess what? You're not taking a card at St. Andrews. You're not taking a card at a lot of facilities. And a lot of facilities mandate cards. Some of the nicer facilities mandate caddies, So, I think the essence of a golfer is walking. The essence of the game is walking. I think carts have been added lately. I take carts when I have to in a PGA event or when I'm in but if I don't have to, I'm going to walk every time.
I find it comical, Brian, because I know you had someone the other day on Twitter who operates a golf course that wants to use carts. I had someone whose family owns a golf course in our area telling me I'm not, about promoting golf. And I've learned over the years, you do not get in Twitter fights. Yep. You just look stupid. It comes across, and there's so many jackasses on there who jump in and just say crap. So you can call me names, whatever, on Twitter. I don't care. I'm just, whatever.
Well, here's the deal.
The
three of us, as you said on the show, the three of us don't make the rules.
Right.
And even those people that work in the golf industry, they're not at this moment making the rules. It's up to the governor and the state board, right now. And unfortunately, we're living in what we hope is a once in a lifetime thing. And we're just going to have to roll with it. My thought is, for someone, yes, that can walk, I'm very fortunate. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm owed golf or that, everything should be open and everything should be wide open to the world right now. I'm happy that this is what we have. And I understand and I feel the frustration for those that maybe can't use a cart right now. But I guess getting in arguments over why you should or shouldn't. When there's no staff, there's no ability to properly monitor it, manage it, police it, sanitize it, all that sort of stuff. I guess I just say I understand why it is what it is, and we just have to deal with it right now.
Yeah, I think there's a reason for the rules, and we're in unique times. No one that's alive has been through anything like this, so. My daughter was complaining. We're lucky we're in the situation we're in. We got a nice home. We're snuggled up tight. We're allowed to play golf. The spring's coming. So there are a lot of positives. It's just, we're in a unique time and just deal with it. And if you can't play golf till August because there's no carts till then, because you can't walk, then maybe that's a goal. I don't know what to tell you. I can't fly a plane because I don't know how. I'd love to get in there, but I can't run a marathon because I'm not in shape. So I have it is what it is. And if you're going to break the rules, then
Speaking of rules, I just want to, I played around. I won't mention where it was, but it was a public facility that I played recently. And the guys I'm playing, we leave, we get done, we leave. Hey, great seeing you, adios. I'm going out to my car in the parking lot, and there's two guys sitting on a tailgate of a truck having a beer. That they didn't look anything like each other, by the way. So I don't know if they could be living together. They could be living together, but the optics of it, that's exactly what we need not be happening anywhere. Stop hanging out and having beers in the parking lot after. That's the kind of crap. I almost swore to get that explicit on this, Brian. That's the kind of stuff that had it taken away the last time. Now, it's just two guys. It wasn't large gathering. But still,
Right.
it just the optics of it looked bad. I didn't say anything because I didn't think it was my place to say anything. I don't own the property. I think what's going to happen is if these things continue, much like those bars that had illegal happy hours or stayed open, shut them down. And if I owned a golf course, man, I'd be policing the hell out of it to make sure any of my customers don't ruin it for everybody and get me a fine.
They're not going to shut down every facility. They're going to shut down yours if you don't follow the rules.
Yeah, and hit you with a fine. And, like,
Right.
Who the hell wants to pay any fine? Come on.
Get shut down. Yeah.
So I guess I'm just saying, like, guys, you know what? This thing's not discriminating. Wealthy people get it. You know, it's like the old, it's not going to happen to me. Yeah. You know what? Why even risk it? Seriously. You have no idea how your body might react to it.
Right.
If the person next to you. So just eliminate the risk. Be thankful we got it. All right. There, I'm off my soapbox, Brian.
All right. Let's switch to a more fun topic here.
Please.
So, this week, Justin Thomas celebrated his birthday. I forget what number it was, but
27. He's 27 years old.
He's only 27.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
He's crazy.
He's been around forever.
He very active on social media, very likable player on the PGA Tour.
Well dressed.
Yes, well dressed. I do like how he dresses. I have become like, after Tiger, like he to me is almost next in terms of like the guys that I love watching right now. And I saw some, I don't know what golf writer it was, but somebody put up a poll and I thought it was an excellent debate, but I almost want to argue for Justin Thomas, which is why I'm bringing this up. I said, okay, take the current PGA Tour players at their current stage and status and age and what they're at, wipe the slate clean. Everybody starts at zero. Who wins the most majors from today going forward in their career? And the argument was for Thomas. And now I obviously got this article and there was facts presented, which made it very convincing to me to think. But I'm almost, as I sat there and thought, I'm like, okay, who are my other options for this? I'm thinking about Koepka,
So futures contract.
Johnson, Rory, right? Like if you were going to essentially go forward and say, whether we turn this into a fantasy draft or not, but like, okay, if the only thing that matters are majors going forward and everybody's at zero right now, who would you pick? Because of their age. Now, you can't pick Tiger Woods at this age because he's 40-something. You're not going to pick Phil Mickelson. He's in his upper 40s. But you got to pick a younger guy, I would guess, unless you think this player that you're picking is going to win all their majors in their 30s and 40s. I don't know. But I think I would pick Thomas. But I was thinking Koepka, Rahm, DJ, is Schauffele even in that mix? I know he's a younger player. Like, I don't know. I'm curious to think who you guys would go with. At this moment, my vote would be for Thomas, but I'm curious to think if you guys want to convince me otherwise.
I think there's three guys. In my mind, it's Rory, Koepka, and JT. And you'd have to pick one of those, I think. Age, skill level, ability, all that stuff. Maybe there's some other guys, but if I was betting futures, it'd be one of those three I'd pick.
When I looked at that, Brian, it was between Thomas and Rahm for me, and I considered Rory.
Rahm, by the way, is only 25.
Right,
but has yet to win one. So,
that's correct.
Yes.
That's correct. But boy, I'm gonna go with Rahm. I'm gonna go with Rahm. I'm gonna take John Rahm. I think he's an amazing player, and I think as he learns to control his emotions better, I think you'll see him start to win more. And so that's why I'd go with John Rahm. Although, it's hard not to pick Justin Thomas. They both do. Like if you had to say, all right, what do they do well? You would just everything. Just right. Just everything they do well. Their game's just all around solid. There isn't one thing I'd say is a weakness.
It's the only edge that Thomas has over Rahm right now between the ears. Rahm sometimes lets his game get the best of him when it's not going perfectly. Thomas seems to have just a great mindset. Of course, he's got his father's training. He's been around professional golf, a lot for his life. So maybe he's cut out for that a little more. I don't know. Go ahead, Jeff. I know you want to jump in.
I see Rahm. I don't think you see him get emotional. I don't necessarily think that affects the next shot. I think, it's certain people are wired that way. You can get upset at the shot, flick your, but it doesn't necessarily affect the next shot. So I don't know that he's not mentally there. He just hasn't, opportunity match up with when he's playing well. You know what I mean? But I don't know how Koepka couldn't be in that argument. I mean, the guy knows how to win. He wins majors. I know you're saying take that in the past. He has had a little injury issue, and he hasn't had the best start to this year. But he's still a young buck in my mind, and there's a lot of he's proven it over the last couple of years. Although that's not the
you said it. You said it right there with Koepka. For me, it's the injuries, wrist injury, knee injury. Sound familiar? I'm just saying, and he works out a lot.
Bad haircut. Yeah.
I think he's got a great mentality. Justin Thomas is, listen, we're arguing over picks here. I mean, who are you going to pick wrong here? But
would you pick?
But you look at runs, Brian. This is the point. You look at runs, and that's what golf has been for these players. Koepka's had his run. We could maybe he might be on the tail end. Spieth had his run, right? Yeah. You could argue Rory's about to go on another run. Justin Thomas.
Has he had it?
Great question.
Yeah,
John Rahm hasn't had his. So
JT's only won one major, so I don't want to make it seem like Thomas is at this pedestal way below guys that haven't won yet. Thomas has only won one PGA championship. That's it. That's his only major. And it's not even like he's finished second or like, oh, my God, he almost won this major. No, he hasn't. So he just is so consistent throughout the entire calendar season. He's we see him at the Ryder Cup. We see him in the FedEx Cup playoffs. So I feel like our image of him in big-time performances is better. But he hasn't really been close to winning the Masters or the U.S. Open anywhere at all in his career. And it's still young. I'm not talking down on him. But for him to be above all these guys that haven't won yet, like Rahm. I guess I would say if you said who's the guys that have yet to win a major, Rahm is there. Now, do you still consider Fowler in that group? Will he go on his run in his 30s?
No, I think he wins one, but I don't see a run.
Yeah. It's like herding cats trying to figure out who, like, they're all good players, right? It's just guessing. And, in competitive golf, it's just that something clicks. What clicked in Brooks Koepka over the last couple of years that made him so confident? It's confidence. To get up over that shot and think, I am not going to miss it. I am winning this tournament today. Those are the guys who win, like Nicklaus or Tiger. And who knows what confidence gets into these places. You could list 20 players because they're all so physically gifted at the top end of the PGA Tour that any of them gets some sort of confidence and have the right opportunities. They could win 5.
You know who we haven't mentioned in that I saw he was on there. Victor Hovland. This kid is going to be awesome.
Yep. Oklahoma State.
Yep. Great. I mean, he's got it, and that's going to be the difference, Jeff, right? They're all physically able.
Right. And then you look at Hovland and you think, well, that's a unique swing or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It's how he gets back to impact. I tell people all the time, it's not the best swings that win tournaments. It's the best players.
You're pointing to your head, Kev. What about DeChambeau? Mid-20s?
Wow.
Would he be in the discussion for this to win majors, or we think he
might. He's too different.
Yeah, I think. Well, you know what? This is a guy who I think
he's got age on his side for this argument.
Yeah, but I think he and I wear the same size now. So that's either good. That's good for one of us. I don't know. I mean, he's beefed up so much. I think he's like 240 pounds now. I mean, that's just remarkable. And how's that going to hold up? All that lifting going to hold up here, and his quest for more distance. There's a finesse part of the game too that it'll be interesting to see. would
It's
be.
interesting. To me, it's interesting. A guy like him looks at the game and sees the power is where the winners are. That's what is one of the most important things, and the data will bear that out. Distance has become much more of a factor over the PGA Tour in the last 5-10 years. Where 20 years, I remember watching Corey Pavin win U.S. Open, and Tom Kite and other players who worked the ball around and dinked and dunked it. But the game that's not where it is anymore. It's like being a Smurf offensive lineman. It doesn't work. It's at some point you've got to be a very long hitter, and then you have to add everything else. They're so elite now that there's so much. The conversation you could also have. What if these guys were playing 20 years ago? They'd be crushing it. Would they be beating Tom Kite and Lee Trevino? I think so. I think they're better players because they're stronger, fitter. But now, having said that, the equipment was different back then, so it was a totally different game, which is a whole nother.
Jeff. I think let's say Tom Kite. I think those guys would be working out just like these guys are. It would. The greats. I think greatness always transcends.
The same thing I was just hearing this basketball discussion about. Would Jordan and Bird and Magic and Isaiah, would they translate to the Currys and the Durants and the LeBrons? Talent is talent. The mindset these guys have, the ability they have, they would adjust. Babe Ruth would adjust to today's baseball players.
Yes,
if he had his own personal trainer and regimen and workout.
Look at it this way: LeBron James. We were talking about this the other day golfing. We were talking about this Jordan LeBron. I said, listen, if LeBron James were in Michael Jordan's era, what would LeBron James be? He'd be a power forward. He'd play with his back to the bat, right? They put him in the post and he'd be Karl Malone.
Yeah.
He would not be LeBron James. He would not be handling the basketball, shooting threes, because coaches would not have let him do that. He would have been
it was played
right. Yeah, he would have been guarding Rick Mahorn against the bad boy. I'm just saying it would have been different. At that time, Jordan changed the game. He changed the way it was played, much like Tiger Woods changed the way the game of golf was played. And without Tiger, there's no Koepka. Period.
When I played college golf, they didn't want us lifting weights. It would throw off your feel. It would throw off your touch. It would throw off your putting stroke. Yeah.
Wasn't Olin Brown like the first guy to lift weights?
I don't know if it was all. Gary Player probably was. Gary Player's been into it for.
But Brown was like the first guy to have a physique.
Player, I feel like, is in it more for the fitness aspect than he is for the bulky. I don't think he's saying, you need to get bulky. I don't.
But as the game has changed, it's become more explosive. You used to play that Bellata ball, and you would dink and dunk it around. You would hook it, cut it, you would fly it up in the air, you would knock it down.
And then change it every hole.
Right, yeah. And now you just tee it up and blast it, and then try to gouge your wedge out of the green. So it is a different game because of the ball.
And full circle, let's wrap this up. The discussion that we started with about Justin Thomas, he might be the smallest player in terms of height-weight combo out of all the big names that we mentioned.
I think Rory might be smaller, but Rory might weigh more because he's got.
But Rory's bulkier, I think. Yeah.
Well, you say bulkier. Rory is ripped.
Yeah, muscle. Wise. I don't mean bulky like us, bulky. I mean bulky bulky like he's got a heavy workout regimen. Definitely.
They're fast twitch athletes. That's the difference. They're fast twitch, and that's what you need to be in golf. It's not how big your arms are. That's for the decelerating. It's how quick can you rotate. And those guys are fast twitch athletes, and the fast twitch athletes are the best golfers right now as far as hitting it far. Brooks Koepka, as big as he is a fast twitch athlete. He rotates very fast.
I'll still take McIlroy's driver swing.
Oh,
when all the pros say, I'm hitting my driver at my best, I'm still taking Rory because it's so straight, it's so long.
See, the thing that with Rory is he has misses both ways because he hits it so straight. Where a lot of the other players, they have a draw or they have a fade, and Rory kind of works it both ways. So he blasts it so far that, that half degree off with your face angle at impact. When you go 330 yards down the line, that's 20 yards into the rough, and that's, it's a big. At where we hit it, it doesn't matter. Yeah, but he's in the woods now.
Yeah,
but great.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Jeff, we're going to say goodbye because I know you got to go eat this. I know it's tough to see on my screen.
Yeah.
There
Oh
it is.
yeah,
Look at that
Jeff,
bread.
you're baking. Nice.
Bread that
Yeah.
you sent me. You said you're cooking bread. I'm like, I don't believe you. So you sent me this picture that you're cooking bread here at home. So is this your new side business now? Bread orders by Jeff?
I'm trying to get fatter, so I'm getting more carbs in my diet. And the rosemary garlic focaccia bread sounded very good today. So that's what we're having.
So you're
Little hot
heading off
warm
for
butter
that.
on hot bread. It's nice.
Sounds delicious. I'm so jealous. All right. Well, enjoy your bread. Kevin and I will we'll find some scraps for what's left from our family from what they left.
I baked. I baked. If anybody wants a good recipe for a beer cheese bread,
Ooh,
simple to do. Oh,
that's
In the crock pot?
yes, awesome. You had it, Jeff?
I have, and now I'm gonna go look that recipe up for tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? The one thing my wife asked, like, why? I looked at the recipe. It didn't call for 4 beers. I'm like, well, yeah, it's one in the recipe.
Right?
The other 3 are drink while it's baking.
Right. The yeast, the carb. Yeah.
That's right.
That's right. You add more pepper, season to taste. You just add another can.
Yeah,
Yeah, my fries a little too much, whatever. Yeah.
Hey, it's
The focaccia is easy to make. That's why we make that one. Yes.
there you go. Yeah, we're all baking. Brian, have you baked anything?
We have been baking quite a bit.
No. I asked if you have baked anything, not what Mrs. Coleshill baked.
I actually did without any help from her. Jack and I, my son, we did Rice Krispie treats the other day. So how about that?
Better than nothing. Better than nothing.
It involved the stove a little. We didn't physically put anything in the oven, but I'm working on it.
Okay.
All right, we got to get our golf bodies in shape. Yep.
That's right.
Get ready.
Yeah.
Next week on our extra, we'll have a sample of all of our food. We'll have a taste.
No, we
test.
won't. No, we won't.
That might
Oh,
be
no.
popular.
I know. All right. Here's another Tee to Green Extra. Hope you enjoyed it. For Jeff Metis, Kevin Sylvester, I'm Brian Koziel. We'll talk to you next time here on Tee to Green.